All right, ladies and gentlemen, once again, I am Dr. Yvonne Durant, and I am super excited to be here. In fact, this node is so near and dear to me because it is literally solving a lot of problems, and you're going to learn a lot about this. I had the honor to speak to a top leader. His name is Andy Salandi. I know he loves to be behind the scenes, and he really kind of enlightened me a lot about Switch. But when I spoke with the president the other day, I was like, what? Like, this is insane. This is, I mean, I'm super excited about what they're doing, but not only in the United States, but around the globe. So, ladies and gentlemen, I have the honor and pleasure to introduce to you a dynamic disruptor in the financial industry. He is the COO and president of Switch Reward Card. And more than anything else, he's been in the banking industry, financial industry for multiple decades. He's worked at Zions Bank, Keys Bank, and a whole bunch of different banks. But more than anything else, he has left corporate America and he is now in the decentralized space where he's now working with Switch Rewards as it relates to blockchain technology. So, ladies and gentlemen, I want to, more than anything else, pass over to you all, President Bradley Willden. Go ahead and take it away. We're going to unmute you.
There we
Still.
go. I came on. I was
Okay.
going to say I'm muted, so I don't know if you're going to hear me. So
Yeah,
thank you for
I
that.
hear
I
you.
appreciate it.
Yes, yes.
This is awesome, and what a privilege it is to be here with each of you. I love that you're all here with Dr. Yvonne. I spoke with her for about an hour and a half the other night, and man, she's been here. I think she told me 39 days, probably 41 now, and she's already grasped what it took me 2 years. So I'm impressed with her, this grabbing the concept of decentralization, and that's a big passion of mine, and that's why I'm here. So I'm gonna give you a quick background about myself, and then I have a lot to tell you about Switch, tell you why I left, why I'm doing what I'm doing with Switch. But first off, just thank you for letting me be here with your group, Dr. Yvonne. This is an amazing group and super awesome and excited to be here. So my background is commercial banking. I've been there since 2000, so over 20 years, I guess 20 years, and then I left about 4 years ago to start Switch. Um, but I've been there. I've been in the decision room. I was the director of regional credit. My group managed over $1 billion in loans and over $1 billion in deposits, and any commercial business type of account or loan or line of credit you needed, my group did. And the interesting thing about traditional banking is it hasn't changed in over 100 years. Nothing. I mean, they've come in and said, hey, everything's online now. But as far as the products go, it's still super hard to do cross-border payments. There's still a lot of people throughout the world that are unbanked. And Dr. Yvonne and I talked about this, is there's a lot of people that don't have the financial tools that we all take for granted in the whole world. And we at Switch really want to fill that void. The thing that surprised me most when I started Switch is I thought we would disrupt banking, but I didn't know we would disrupt the crypto industry as well. There are a lot of problems. So one of our visions is to increase adoption of crypto throughout the world, make it easier, make it friendlier, and make it more secure than it currently is. Those of you who have been in crypto for a while have probably heard of FTX a year ago at this time. It was a headline all over the news. FTX lost billions of people's money. So we want to solve those three problems: security, transparency, and usability. So it increases adoption for crypto. Because right now, I'm going to tell you a story. In 2016, I had a good buddy who said, hey, you need to go buy Bitcoin. So in fact, he sent me one. He's like, hey, here you go. Here's Bitcoin. It wasn't very high at the time. So I kind of got interested. There was a platform called Coinbase. There was only three coins on there. It was Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Litecoin. There was a new token coming out called Ripple, or XRP. And they said, we're going to integrate the blockchain technology with all of the banks. So I was really excited. I'm like, how do I buy this token? I want to buy it. It's going to go crazy. Well, I finally find this other platform called Binance, and you could only buy it with crypto. You couldn't buy it with cash. And that's another problem is it's hard to buy crypto with a credit card or cash. I actually had to send my Bitcoin, and this was the scary part. This is why I'm like, man, if I wasn't super interested, I would have never got back into crypto. So I took 8,000 bucks of my Bitcoin. I sent it from Coinbase to Binance. And in the first hour, I'm hitting return because it's showing zero. It left Coinbase, it's in outer space, and I'm waiting at Binance for it to hit. And for 3 hours, I started making up a story to go tell my wife, hey, I just sent $8,000 to outer space and it's gone. I'm sorry. We can't buy groceries this month or next month or the next month. So I'm sorry. But luckily, it finally came and it showed up after that third hour, and I was super happy. But it was a bad experience as someone wanting to join crypto. So that's where we have started building is okay, how can we make it easy for people to use? And that's what I'm going to show you tonight. How's it secure? How can we make people feel secure and trust with their own digital assets? And how can we make the fees is another big thing. I remember buying $1,000 of Ethereum, and I get it to my wallet and I had $750.
Mm.
And I'm like, where's that $250? I paid 25% in fees that weren't even disclosed. So transparency is the third one. So I want to show you, and can I share my screen? I think I can. Let's see. It says host is disabled. Can you allow me to
Yes,
share my screen?
absolutely. There
Awesome.
you go.
Okay.
And I have my video down just for bandwidth on my side.
Yeah, and I might have mine's going a little slow too, so I might have to turn mine down. Can you guys see that?
We can see it.
That's I usually use a PowerPoint, but I just got so excited with your energy. I didn't even start my slideshow. So we'll get out of there. I want to go to our website to show you what is working and what is up and running and how it's disrupting the crypto world. So I'm just going to log in. Our website is switchrewardcard.com. I'm going to log in. This is one of the securities here too. So we make everyone do 2FA. So I've got to go to my phone. So a bot can't log into me, and I got to put in my authenticator app. This is solving one of the problems for security and trust of your assets. Plug that in. Okay, that brings you into our platform. And let me see if I can, I want to go to, I like to go to let me go on here again. One more time. I was logged in and it kicked me out because I was waiting too long. Okay, here we are. This is all of, our little area over here. If you're a node owner, we'll talk about node owners and the rewards you get, but I want to go to our product. That's one thing that we are building in the Connect, and it's not in the Connect ecosystem, but a lot of the projects that are in the Connect ecosystem are disrupting some type of industry. And we're here to make sure that we are not just a meme coin or a crap coin that has no meaning or use behind it. We like to say we're creating a blockchain with a purpose. Our purpose is, like I mentioned, is to increase the adoption of crypto. So our assets, what Switch is a prepaid debit card as well as a crypto exchange or trading platform. Right here, I'm going to open up our global trade wallet. One of the differences between us and the rest of the exchanges currently out there is they're either US only or international only. They're not both. So we said we want to make it both for everyone. So we are a global company, both in the US and international, as well as in well, let me just keep going here. So we have, this is our US dollar wallet. That's where you keep your cash where you on ramp and off ramp cash. Like I mentioned, when I was trying to buy that XRP, it was really hard to buy it. In fact, I couldn't buy it with cash because there was no way to. I had to buy Bitcoin on Coinbase, send it out to Binance, and trade my Bitcoin for XRP. So this wallet right here, where you can wire an ACH, and if you're outside, you use a SEPA account to send your money in, and then you can purchase and sell and send receive. And this is how simple it is to buy crypto. And this is a USD coin or the USDC. You can buy Gala, Tether, whatever token you want, you can go buy, and it's super simple. You just hit buy. This is going to come up and say, I want to buy $10 worth of USDT. Hit preview buy. And boom, there it is. There's my fee. It shows you $10 of USDT is going to cost me $10.12 because our fee right now, because we're in beta testing, is a 1.25%, which is unheard of. The industry standard is anywhere from 10 to 15% that they charge you to buy crypto. We will increase that fee, and I'll talk about that fee a little later and how it pertains to the Switch token to increase the usage or the utility of the Switch token for those of you that are earning the Switch token every day through a node. Any questions on that so far? I know it's fast. I have a lot to cover, and we're at 5:20. Any
No, that's
questions,
okay.
Dr.
Just
Yvonne?
keep going. Go ahead, keep going.
Okay.
We're going to take notes, and then we'll have some questions for you at the end. Doing great.
Okay. Okay, perfect. The other part that is a challenge in the crypto world is if you want to spend, say I go in and I want to sell some of my Bitcoin, I go hit sell, and this is live right now. So I'm going to sell a little bit of Bitcoin. This is one of our test wallets. I've got slow internet, but say I want to sell 0.004 or something. No, it's little. I don't want to do that much. 0.3. And I want to preview sell. Oh, I don't want to add cash. It's saying I want to add cash. This is basically easy way to sell. I hit preview sell. Let me put that in again, 0.003. Preview sell. And that will put it into my digital US dollar. The reason why I'm showing you that is most trade platforms, when you do that, you have to wait a couple of days for it to show up in your digital US wallet. Now it showed up in mine. I can load my prepaid debit card with $10, hit preview transaction. And for security again, and I don't want $100. We just want 10. Sorry. I keep fat fingering this to go fast. I acknowledge. And once again, for security, so no one else can get it, it's going to send me an auth code onto my phone. 91250. And it's going to load my card so I can go, oh, transaction failed. That's not good. That's why they tell me not to do a live one, but it will load my card. I've got on my card. Let's go over and see here on my card. It will load right here, and there's something wrong. That's why we're calling it beta right now, because we just released it to the open beta, and there's some type of bug tonight. But anyway, usually it works super fast, and I can use this money in 5 minutes compared to industry standard of waiting 2 or 3 days to go spend it. Because currently the gas station and the grocery store does not take crypto. So you have to sell, load your card, and go spend it. The other thing is you can withdraw it and send it to your external bank account too if you want it to go there. So
Wow.
What we've done is we've created all of these products that are like one step and a different company, and you got to send it elsewhere. We put it all in one. So we're like a one-stop shop for your crypto needs and whatever else you want to do with your assets. If you want to send them to a friend, or if someone wants to send crypto to you, you can receive it. So anything that you want to do with your crypto, you can do within our one-stop shop. So let me keep going on this and tell you now, what does Switch do to the industry? And let me bring up my PowerPoint so we can get there. I got too many screens here. Can you guys see that?
Yes.
Okay. What is Switch? Switch is bridging traditional finance to decentralized finance. And what that means is we want to be able to merge those two worlds. Right now, they're doing this. You might hear the banking industry say a lot, hey, we don't like crypto. We're not going to support any crypto companies. We're out of here. There's only a handful of banks in the US that currently support it, as well as a handful of banks outside the US. We know because we've interviewed hundreds of banks, and a lot of them said, nope, we don't like crypto. So besides increasing the adoption of crypto, we also want to bridge that gap between traditional banking, traditional finance, and decentralized finance. And that's what Switch is. What is Switch? Well, that's what our goal is to bridge that gap. This is a quick, easy way to get that free account that I just showed you. You sign up within Inside Connect, and you can get a free trade platform. Connect your bank and start buying and selling crypto. How do I log in? It's at switchrewardcard.com. And you just put in, if you're a Connect member, you just hit the login button that I've squared up right there and put in your Connect credentials, and that will log in. Or within Connect, you can opt in to set up an account at Switch, and it'll automatically do it for you. It's really easy. Who can sign up for Switch? Anybody can sign up for Switch in the US and outside of the US. If you're a restricted country, we abide by the OFAC regulation for banking. This does require KYC, which is know your customer. So you will be asked, if you set up a trading platform, some information. You'll have to share your driver's license. This is kind of a this is a timeline of, on average, it takes about 5 to 7 business days outside of the US to get verified, and it may require additional information. And on average, inside the US, it takes about 3 to 5 business days to get verified. This is an open beta, like I mentioned, so please be patient on setting up your account. Sometimes it might take a day or two longer. We're having a huge influx of people signing up, and so sometimes it gets bogged down. KYC, like I mentioned, stands for know your customer. It's just a banking term. This is inside. This is the verification that I talked about. You'll click on Get Started to set up for our trade wallet. This is providing your information. This is some of the items that you'll have to input. It's basically your name, address, email, phone number, a picture of your driver's license, proof of address. That's what KYC is. And then once you set it up, you have to deposit, withdraw, load, like I just showed you already in that presentation. Finalize your setup. Now you can buy and sell crypto. So why is the Switch Reward Card International Trade Wallet disrupting the crypto industry? Number one is it's easy to use. As I showed you in our previous little live demo, it's a buy, sell. I put a little screenshot in here to kind of show you another trade platform of how intimidating and scary it is. If you've never been in crypto and you go to try to buy Bitcoin, this is what a lot of the other trade platforms look like. And you can't even figure out where to even start. So number one, we're going to make it easy to use for anybody that wants to join, anybody that's been trading crypto, and the OGs. We've showed it to everyone in our 4 years of research in A&D. That is one of the main, restrictions or keeping people out of crypto, is they're like, it's too complicated and too hard to do. I can't buy any because I don't know how. So we made it easy. Number two, like I mentioned, is transparent fees. I showed you when I bought $10 of USDT, it cost me $10.12. A lot of the competing exchanges don't even show you. They'll show you one fee, and this is a trick that they do. They'll show you one fee and say, all right, your transaction fee was $1.99. But if you're buying Ethereum and it was at $1,000 and you're buying it, you'll click and they'll up it to 1,200, and that's called the spread. So they make a spread that they don't even tell you about. So transparency of fees is huge for us. And then the other part is, if you ever go into one of our competitors, sign up, get KYC, and you buy Ethereum or whatever digital asset it is, you can wait as many as 18 days to take that crypto off their platform and send it to a friend, or send it to, maybe you need to send it to Connect because you're going to buy a node and you want to buy a node with USDT. We have created what is called the hot wallets. So when you buy your Ethereum, that day you can offload it to to a friend. You can send it to a friend. You can send it to Connect. You can send it to a cold wallet. So you own your own keys, and no other current exchange or competitor is doing that. As far as I know, it's amazing. So and then number 4, on average, we have the lowest transaction fees for buying and selling crypto. We're not here to make a ton of money. We're here to, like I mentioned, increase the adoption of cryptocurrency. And if fees are so high, why would people go and use crypto? So those are the top 4 of why Switch Reward Card International Trade Wallet is disrupting the crypto industry. Now, I don't know how much you've told your group about nodes, but how does the Switch node fit into the picture of what I just explained? Well, the node part is what supports the Switch blockchain community. And the only way a blockchain is successful is if the community is highly participating in the project. So to participate, you can buy a node, and as you run that every day for 6 hours or more, you eventually will start to confirm proof of action items. What that means is we will start rewarding people more as they use our prepaid debit card or they use our exchange, like I just talked about. We will be the first prepaid debit card that will give you rewards back as far as cryptocurrency goes.
Wow.
Let me just say that again, because that is huge. On a prepaid debit card, as you use it, we will be, if you sign up and opt in, you will be receiving the Switch token. So the next question when you're joining a blockchain project, you have to ask yourself is, what is the utility of the token? Because if I'm going to get all these tokens every day for running my node and not doing anything, just making sure my node is on and running it for 6 hours or more, you're going to get a distribution of the Switch native token or the Switch native reward, which then can be, we've created a bridge without getting too into crypto technology, but you can bridge it to an ERC20 token. You can actually bridge a Switch native reward into a Switch ERC20 token. So back to where I was saying is, when you're looking at joining a blockchain project, you need to say, all right, what is the utility of the token that I'm receiving through the nodes? And I've got 3 examples of the utility of the Switch reward here. So once we are at a certain level of users on our trade platform that I just showed you, we will then turn on the utility of the Switch ERC20 token. Well, what does that mean? I showed you when I bought $10 of USDT, it cost me $10.12. That 12 cents is the fee that Switch reward card makes. We're in it to make money. That's what we make on our end as far as providing these services. In the future, if you pay for that fee, and I'll just tell you, it's going to be 4 to 7%. If you pay for that fee with a Switch token, you will receive a large discount. We haven't released it, but it's going to be anywhere from 25 to 50%, depending on how much crypto you're buying each day or selling. And you will get a 25 to 50% discount from what our fee is. So if you're in the 4% category, you'll get it for 2%. If you're in the 7, you'll get it for 3.5. Or if it's 25%, I can't do division that fast. You'll still get a large discount, which would be 25% off of 7%. So that is a huge utility as we are continuing to sign up tons of people a day on our exchange. If they don't have a node, they will have to go buy a token out of the market, a Switch ERC20, and they'll have to buy it on an exchange. Hopefully in the near future, it will be on our exchange and they'll be able to buy it right there and then pay for their fees. So that creates a use case for the token. And if you have any questions on that, the last little bit I'm going to have a Q&A. The second part to create utility or a use case, I have not talked about this website, but this is our business to business website. It's called useswitchpay.com. And I'm going to go there. I guess I'm sharing my whole screen. So let me just go there right now. And someone has a question, but Dr. Yvonne said we'll get to the questions at the end. So don't forget that.
Yeah.
Whoever's raising their hand. This is our business website. Not sure why that's pulling that up. And these are the 4 products that we currently offer businesses. Like I mentioned, we want to increase the adoption of crypto. So if you're a business and you want to accept crypto, or maybe you're an e-commerce on the internet, you want to accept crypto as a payment, we have a merchant widget that you can put on your website and allow people to pay with crypto. If you want to sell NFTs, we can help you sell NFTs. If you're in a higher risk industry and you have been paying 12% to Visa and MasterCard and different merchant processors, we have a new product, which is, this is my favorite product. We just barely launched this at the end of February. It's called NFT Checkout. You see that right there?
Mm-hmm.
NFT Checkout, we got approved to be able to allow people to buy that with a credit card, which then, as a vendor or an e-commerce business, you can have them redeem that NFT for your merchandise or service. I'm gonna say that again because it's kind of a little confusing. Like, say you're in the CBD industry. That's considered high risk in credit cards. And so the bank makes you have a $250,000 reserve, and then you're charged like 10% because it's a high risk for chargebacks. Well, we come in and say, hey, we have an NFT voucher checkout process where you're selling an NFT that they can redeem for your CBD, or they can redeem for your subscription, whatever you're selling. There's obviously restricted interests that we don't even want to go into, that we just restrict. But this is a new product that we released at the end of February, and we've already done 6 million in processing for. That's just 2 vendors who have been using it and loving it. So
Wow.
When I talk about our business side, these are our 4 products right now. An on-ramp and off-ramp, all that means is the ability to on-ramp cash to purchase crypto, or off-ramp cash as you sell crypto. And then this is that merchant crypto widget. So back to the utility side, to explain the use case for the token to create people to have to buy it so they can use it. This third one is the Switch ERC20 token. There's fees with all those that we charge the business, and the business will have to buy the Switch token to use those fees. And then the final one, this is in the far distant future, so 2025. We are currently working with a vendor who has over 700,000 relationships with retailers and service providers that want to use the Switch token to buy gift cards or discounts at retailers. So if you have a Switch token, you can come in here and buy a gift card for $100, and if you're using the Switch token, you get that gift card for $75. So those are the 3 use cases, and we're always looking for more use cases for the Switch token. Okay, I've thrown a bunch at you guys and talked really fast. I guess Dr. Yvonne, you tell me what you want to do, but I'm open for questions. I could talk about some other products, but I think we might have a little bit of an overload right now. So yeah, anybody that has questions, let's get to that.
All right, fantastic. I'm going to turn my, wow. So yeah, we definitely want to start off by, and that was amazing, by the way. I mean, when you're talking about the business, you're talking about the exchange, the platform, and its global reach, that is priceless. But we want to kind of dig down just a little bit. And I want you to start out and share with the guests and members, because a lot of us we're new here. Share with us the role. You're the COO, and we also have a CEO. So share with us a little bit about the roles. Who's the CEO? Who's, of
Yeah.
course, the COO? Just share a little bit with them.
Yeah, and I'm glad you brought that up. So our CEO is Kathy Roberts, and her story is amazing. And her history, she actually, we came to her and asked her if she'd come out of retirement to help us. So let me tell you her story. It's really cool. She was in the founding group for Discover Card. So Sears Roebuck is who started Discover Card, and they said, "Hey, who wants to go start this credit card? We need one. And who wants to go pitch it to Visa and MasterCard?" She raised her hand and started doing this. Well, Visa and MasterCard, when they went there, Kathy, and said, "Hey, we want to reward our credit card holders by giving them 1 cent for every 99 cents that they spend." Keep in mind, this is in the 1980s.
Mm.
Visa and MasterCard saying, "You're crazy. We're not going to give money back to people who are using our credit card. They're lucky to have our credit card. We're not going to give them cash back." So they started Discover Card. So I mean, she works nonstop around the clock and eventually becomes the president and COO of Discover Bank. And I want to mention this is in the 1980s and the 1990s where a woman, and she is African American, there was no women in banking.
Right.
Okay. They told her, put K Roberts on your business card. So they think it's a male that's the president and COO. They told her to put a K on. So she's amazing. She broke that. She nothing stops her. We were hoping to have her here tonight, but she is at a Polynesian event dinner that we're helping out on that. She's an amazing woman. And if we do this again, Dr. Yvonne, we need to have her on because her story is incredible. But we went to her and said, "Hey, here's our idea. We know you're in retirement." She's got a 19-year-old son who she loves and takes care of, and we asked her, "Well, would you come out and help us?" And she always tells me, "Brad, I got one more year with you, and then I'm done. And this better be huge because I just took 4 years out of my retirement life to help you out." And she's taught me a ton, by the way. She's amazing. But that's who our CEO is. She's always, I mean, she's going to Amsterdam here in a week. I'm not gonna tell her age, but she's older. And one of our sayings is, "Hey, we got to make this easy enough that Kathy can do it." And she's great. So she's our CEO. She's amazing. She's really helped us in the card industry because of her background and all of her connections with, she knows Jamie Dimon. She knows all the top uh, people out there. But her story is incredible. I'll just sit and listen to her for hours at night. She'll tell me some amazing stories, and she just had a positive attitude, a positive can do. There's nothing that stops me. I'm Kathy Roberts. Get out of my way, or I'm going to kick you in the knee, Brads, because I'm really tall. She's short. She's like, "Oh, as high as I can reach is your knees, and I'll take you out." So sorry, I talked way long, and I could talk
That's
about her
okay.
forever.
We
She's
want to
amazing.
we want to hear everything. We want to hear everything. This is
Yeah.
our first time we get an opportunity to listen to you and hear a little bit about the brand. So share a little bit with the guests and the members. Why did you, the CEO, the whole team decided to bring Switch on board? I know you touched on that a little bit, but I want you to kind of hone in on, tell us the why behind
Yeah.
that.
The why, and I kind of have to describe how the structure of this all. So you have the Switch reward card, and that has all the products that I just showed you. There's
Mhm.
more products, but that's the business side, and that is the blockchain with purpose side. Okay, so the blockchain's not there, but that's the business to disrupt crypto and disrupt banking. The blockchain side is separate. So Switch reward card doesn't own Switch tokens, doesn't own the blockchain. You mentioned right at the beginning, decentralization is huge, and that's the key to blockchain, and that's why I left, because I sat in so many boardrooms where people were making decisions on a C-level type position for the whole retail and business and consumer banking, saying, "No, they want this." Well, in blockchain, no one owns it except for the community. Like I mentioned, the community is what makes the blockchain project successful. So the blockchain is ran by what's called a DGF, a distributed governance framework. Who owns that? The node owners own the DGF. Within the DGF, there's a charter that the Switch blockchain is ran by. That charter can have proposals submitted by node owners, and then there's a quorum within that charter that has to vote on it. So a certain amount of the node owners have to vote, and if it passes, then that proposal that was submitted will go into effect and become a part of the charter. So you asked me, why did I leave? Well, I played sports my whole life, and I loved it because it was a team sport and everyone had a say, and to win, everyone had to play their best. And so I kind of look at blockchain like that, like to win, everyone has to participate. And you know, and the nice thing is you don't have to participate on a crazy way like Kathy and I are doing it, working 14 hours a day to make this work. But if you turn on your node and run it, you get rewarded for running your node. If you send a proposal and say, hey, I've noticed if we tweak this, you can make a difference. Submit the proposal. It goes out to all the node owners. And if it's something that all the node owners like, they vote yes, goes into effect, and you're making a difference. And so the decentralization part is huge, in my opinion, as far as why I left my 20-year banking career to start Switch. And I love that there's new financial products. I talked about a little bit about the unbanked in these second and third world countries where they don't have the benefits that we have as far as financial tools to buy services and merchandise. So that's why I
Right.
left. There's a bunch of
Yeah.
stuff to do. Yep.
Phenomenal. Wow, that was powerful. So tell us a little bit about, you just touched on it, about the third world, the Caribbean, all over the globe. Why, how would, and how is Switch going to really help them? How are they going to help those countries solve? Now, of course, we have our own issues here in the United States, but how will they actually, Switch will actually help the globe?
Let me just tell you a couple of use cases. That's the best way for me, instead
Mhm.
of saying, here's what we want to do. I say, here's what we're working on. So there's a group of about 500,000 um, people that come to Dubai and work there. And then they send their money home through like a Western Union type of, like a money transfers business. And it costs a lot of money. So their hard-earned money, they have to pay this huge fee. Well, Switch has the ability to where they can go get their hard money, buy it on our platform, like I showed you, buy
Mhm.
USDT, and then send that, or US, whatever stable coin or crypto, let's just call it a digital asset, and they can send it to their family back in the Philippines, and they won't have to pay a crazy amount of transaction fees like
Mhm.
Western Union, and or a cross-border payment for wires is super expensive, and also wait for a week. It
Mhm.
happens like that. So, and then they offload it, either go use our Switch, prepaid debit card at the grocery store or whatever. Never been to the Philippines, so I don't know, but that's one use case that we're working on right now to make it way easier for these people that are going to Dubai to clean and then send money back to their families. So cross-border payments is big, as well as um, people who have never, if they have a phone, then they can use our product to buy services or goods in whatever country they're in, as long as it's not a restricted country.
Wow. Wow. And that's amazing to me because I remember working with someone. I was doing a software in India somewhere, and I was sending funds via PayPal. And when I sent the funds, it said that it was going to take 2 days for them to receive the funds. And so you're basically saying, like a switch of the flip of a switch, they'll be able to get these funds, whether they're in, it doesn't matter the country. And another thing, I've spoken with Andy Salandri, he talked about how in Kenya, Cambodia, all these different countries, they have issues with their finances, meaning they need financial solutions. They need a different ways to pay their employees. It's slow. It's not, they want to be able, when employees come to work and they say that they're going to pay them on Friday at 5 p.m., they want those funds to reach them at Friday on 5 p.m. So it's huge. We were talking about that, and I didn't understand that, but I'm understanding now. All right. So I've asked a few questions. I'm going to give the guests an opportunity to ask some questions, or some of our members an opportunity. It was Andy Salandy right there, an
I
opportunity
think,
to ask some
yeah, and
questions as
Jeff's got
well.
one too. Yep.
Yeah, yeah. So, Derek, let's start with Jeff.
Okay, Jeff. Jeff Trills, how you doing? Ask you to unmute yourself. Please unmute yourself. Ask your question, please.
How you doing? Thank you for this Zoom call. Thank you for jumping on here and breaking down Swipe. I'm definitely a crypto advocate, and I've had my challenges transfer money. So this Swipe card, I said Swipe, excuse me, Switch.
Oh, you're good.
On the feed, I know ERC20 is more high in fees in regards to the transaction fees. Now I know you said that it was $10.12. Oh, the 12 cent goes to Switch, but the $10 fee, where did that come from? How is that decided?
Oh, the $10 fee, the $10 was just the amount of USDT that I was buying. That goes to my wallet. That's mine. Yeah, that's my digital asset. The 12
Okay,
cents.
got you.
Yeah. Yep.
Okay, got you. Cool. Yeah, 'cause I was wondering the transaction fees, right? So are you guys going to go on Binance too, or kind of
Yeah,
like you said?
so currently you can do a BEP20 as well. There's a bridge to the BEP20 for the pancake swap. So yes, there is a bridge built there because, like you mentioned right at the beginning, is ERC20. The gas fees are high on that, but BEP20 is a lot cheaper, and so yeah, there's a way you can bridge your. And what Jeff's talking about is the Switch digital reward comes out as a native token, and you can bridge it. And those of you that are in crypto, just bear with me for a minute. The Switch native token is like building your own sandbox that no one knows is there, and you're only the one that's playing in it. But there's an ERC20 sandbox where there's a lot of people playing on it. So we build a bridge so you can transfer your native reward into an ERC20 token so more people can buy and sell it, if that makes sense. There's another sandbox called the BEP20 that Jeff's talking about, and you can bridge that to that as well. And community, the cool thing is if a community member wants to bridge it to another, they can submit that proposal and have one of the developers work on it to build that bridge. So that's what I mean when I was talking about the charter and submitting proposals as a node owner, that you can say, hey, gas fees are super high. Eventually, though, in the future is we want people to play in our native sandbox. Because what does that mean? When we all pay gas fees in the crypto world, and gas fees, those of you that are not familiar with crypto, is just a fancy name for transaction fees. Those transaction fees, if we stay in our sandbox, go back to the node owners in the form of a Switch ERC20 token, or at that time would be a Switch native token. So,
And then the last question for this is, we said this is a prepaid debit card, right? So
correct.
with prepaid debit cards, certain places we're limited with prepaid debit card versus the regular debit card. Is that the same for this prepaid debit card? Like some places we can't use it, or certain things restricted because of the prepaid debit card versus the debit card?
So good question. Reason we will have 5 different types of debit cards. Some are prepaid, some will be debit. Right now, Visa it's accepted wherever Visa is at as far as our prepaid debit card is. So it's not restricted. If they accept Visa, they will accept our prepaid debit card. There's so many licenses globally that we're like, we don't, number one, don't have enough millions of dollars to buy all those licenses. So the prepaid was an option. In the US, we will have a normal checking account, debit card that you will have access to. It's already built. The app's already built. In fact, it was up and running in February of last year, but then our backing bank came out and said, hey, we don't like crypto. We know you're all about crypto. You have 90 days to find a new bank. So we had to learn our lesson. And now we have 9 different banks worldwide. So if another bank says, hey, we're out, then we can slide another one of these banks in. So great question, Jeff. Yep.
Thank you.
Right. Great questions, Jeff. I'm gonna let you unmute yourself back. once you're finished. Next question comes from next hand is Andy Solandi. I'm asking you to mute yourself, Andy. Please unmute yourself, ask your question, make your please. Wait, I'm just moving.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you. First of all, President Brad, phenomenal job. Thank you so much for being here. And thank you for going into the demo of the product, because at the end of the day, we can talk about technology all day long. If it's not working, you know, it's just a conversation. So I really appreciate you going in and doing the demo and showing that the product does work. And there's a couple of things I want to ask. I'm glad to know that internationally, folks that go ahead and sign up for Switch on the switchrewardcard.com website. That's correct, yes?
Correct. Yes. So
And they'll
we,
have to go through the KYC to get approved for the account.
yes, and you'll notice when you'll click on the KYC, it will have like social security number. That's optional. So if you're international, obviously you don't put that in there. Then it will ask for different, information internationally. So yes.
Okay, so now we have the Connect community, which we all are part of, and also regular folks outside of the Connect community can still access Switch, which is great, because as we go around the world, folks do need this service, as Dr. Yvonne and I was talking about. So my next question is, President Brad, when do we get our cards? Everybody is flashing those beautiful black debit cards on the leadership side, and we feel like, hey, when do we get our cards, Brad?
So you're about the 10th person. I presented to a group of about 300 people earlier today, and they asked that same question. We are so close to getting cards out. And I even Dr. Yvonne asked me this the other night. I gave her a specific date, but I hate giving specific dates because then I miss it and everyone's like, Brad does not know what he's talking about and he's up in the night. So I will say this, we are super close within the next month or two. People can go on to our website or go to Connect and get a card. So if we don't have a card out in the next 2 to 3 months, I will be super surprised.
Okay, and one more thing for the folks, I'm kind of partial to the Caribbean folks for now, who have a lot of restrictions, President Brad. This product is going to be a game changer. Once they get that card, they can go to the ATMs in the Caribbean or wherever they are and access their funds from the Switch account, correct?
Correct. There are transaction fees, but yes, correct. Yep.
Okay, great. But once again, thank you for bringing this product to the market and the work you guys are doing. Truly appreciate it. Thank you.
Yeah, no, thank you. My previous job, I was golfing 3 or 4 times a week, and now I don't even golf. So this better go big so I can golf and make up for it the rest of my life. So
I hear you.
All right, Derek, the next person.
Yeah,
Great
next is,
question. Great
I'm happy I
answer.
looked at. I'm happy I looked at you, Sydney Lloyd, because I actually thought it was someone else at first. Anyway, I'm asking you to mute yourself.
All
Please
right.
ask your question.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we
Yep.
can hear you.
Okay, great. Okay. Hi, my name is Sydney Jessica Lloyd. And I want to also thank you so much for coming to talk to us today, Mr. Willden, because this is truly something that's really, really fantastic. Right now, I am currently an undergraduate studying finance and economics at Case Western Reserve University.
no, that's awesome.
And I'm also going
Yeah.
to be pursuing my master's of finance here. And I've always been really passionate about like crypto and blockchain and things like that. But one of the major issues with, studying this now, because this is kind of on the verge of like coming into reality, is that there's not that much information for that in our field, or especially like the education field for the finance side. So I just wanted to know, what do you think your outlook is for people who are, studying finance or graduate students at this level who are really interested in going to blockchain technology?
Well, that's an amazing question, and congrats on where you're going with your education. That's amazing.
Thank you.
I love that question because one of the responsibilities that Kathy and I feel that we have as Switch is to educate, number one, banks. Banks, the reason why they don't like it is because they don't understand it. Number one. Number two is we need to educate the world, just like you're saying, is, not very many people know about it or what it entails. And, what 2016, how many years is that? 8, 9 years ago, I didn't even know what it was. And it's taken me a long time to understand it. So there are so many opportunities of where this can go. And I can't remember if it was Andy or Jeff, but like with us, we said, how can we integrate blockchain into a mainstream industry? So we learned, okay, what are some of the problems with crypto right now? What are some of the problems with banking? And we saw and experienced them firsthand, like I mentioned with my experience of buying. But then we're like, well, how can we make this work worldwide? And we're like, well, there's a lot of people worldwide that are unbanked that don't have financial tools to be able to live every day. And how amazing are they that we have them? We're lucky enough to have them. So to answer your question, is the outlook for finance majors and accounting majors, there are a lot of opportunities with companies like Switch as we grow bigger, and and some of our competitors as well. We want our competitors to succeed, because then what does that mean? Crypto is being adopted at a higher rate. It's a decentralized facility to be able to let the people control it. And so to say a specific what type of career is there for people that are graduating in finance, I can't give you a specific, but you can, the sky's the limit. If you want to be like, you know what, I want to only focus on nonprofits that are worldwide, and I want to be able to get them money fast. Crypto is an amazing tool to do that. So you could start a charity and raise funds and get them to, like, one of the charities that we work with, they provide wells in Africa, and they've done over 900 wells. They teach the people how to do the wells. And we've donated some money to them, because as they learn, they then teach the village next to them. This is how you get clean water. So there's a lot of opportunities that I don't even believe have been uncovered yet as far as the blockchain technology and Web3 goes. So great question, Sydney, and congrats on where you're going. It's
Thank you
awesome.
so much.
Yeah, you
And
bet.
also I wanted to also announce that my father actually purchased me a Switch node as an early graduation gift.
That's
So
amazing.
yeah,
That is
I know.
awesome.
Forever indebted to him, right?
Oh, that is
And
going to be awesome.
yeah, and also like I said before, I'm really passionate about blockchain and the DeFi space. I also have launched my own chapter of a company called Black Girls on Blockchain, and I'm really excited about that. And also something, I mean, like, just like from a study of like decentral finance and what it actually is, I've always had questions about like the regulatory framework over it, or how can we overcome scalability issues, or how can we promote financial inclusion and empower marginalized groups like through
Yes.
blockchain. um and so with that being said, I do have like thesis that I will be working on in the next coming years, and I really just want to know if I could interview Kathy Roberts and, ask her what it's like to be like such a trailblazer in this space, and ask her where she sees the space going in the future.
Absolutely. I was just going to say, if you can connect with Dr. Yvonne,
Yeah.
I assume you know her, and so connect with her, and I will get you. Kathy will love it. Kathy will be
Oh,
ecstatic.
great.
Yeah, let's totally do that. As you were talking, I'm like, you need to meet Kathy. Everyone needs to meet Kathy. She unfortunately is super busy. Like I said, she's at a big event tonight for Switch, but yes, let's let's get you in her. So Dr. Yvonne, you got my email. Let's
Yeah,
connect there and
exactly.
get Sydney
Yeah.
with her.
Yeah.
Yep. Cool.
Speaker.
Okay. Great
All right,
question,
Aaron.
Thank
Sydney
you.
Jessica Lloyd.
Thank you.
Next hand I see is Nikita. How you doing, Nikita? I'm asking, unmute yourself. Please unmute yourself. Ask your question, please.
Now, can you hear me?
Yep.
Okay. Thanks so much for the call. So my question, and I hopefully, and I don't know if somebody else, if it's already been answered, so I apologize if it has. So with the switch cards, I'm assuming too from the gentleman that spoke that the cards have not actually come out for us for consumers yet. But when it does, so is there like a cost to for the card to get it on that side? not besides the nodes, purchasing a
Cor-
node?
Correct. Yes, there will be a cost, and there will be different levels. Like I mentioned, there'll be 4 or 5 different cards. That's one thing too that's unique and kind of unfortunate right now. But just like when banking was first started, you had to pay for your checking account, you had to pay your
Right.
monthly fees. So there will be a fee for our top card. However, like if you go to crypto.com, which is one of our, to get their top card, which does the same stuff as our card, you have to buy $40,000 worth of their crypto called Crow, and then you get their debit card. That's 40,000 USD of Crow, and they go on. It goes on down to different tiers, 4,000, 8. So we are significantly below that. We're not even in thousands, but that's one thing that we hope to overcome as crypto gets more adopted, to be able to offer it like a free checking account. But yes, you will be paying for the debit card once it comes out, and that will be, the pricing will be on Connect. We have not posted that yet. We incur significant costs because you have to be what's called a card program manager, and that's expensive each month. You have to pay, you have to order the cards, you have to fulfill the cards. So, um, you know, that's where we're at. But great question.
Okay, thank you. And I was trying to see one more about, it was on the from the node side. But it just get my mind still. Maybe somebody else will answer or I'll come back. So thank you so much.
Come back. Yep, you're good.
Great question.
Question, Nikita. Okay. Next hand I see is Lady B. I'm asking you to mute yourself. Please ask your question. Lady B.
Okay. Hi. Good night, everyone, and thank you so much for coming on and doing the presentation. You did an amazing job. I wanted to find out, for those that are part of Connect, is there also, aside from owning a node, is there also an opportunity for earning like additional rewards for inviting others to join Switch or to purchase a Switch card? Is that something that's also in the works, or do you only earn rewards for being a node owner?
Great. I love that question because I needed to cover that. Yes, that's a great question. So we have what's called proof of action, and that's in the charter. And it talks about 8 different ways of other ways that you can earn tokens. The other cool thing is the card, when you buy the card, it will come with a for lack of a better word, it's called a light node. It's not as powerful as a smart node, but it will come. You don't earn as much crypto, but as you use the products, as you refer the products, yes, you will be distributed more points for that day. And then there's an algorithm that calculates how many Switch rewards you get for that day for referring a node or referring. And that is forward-looking statement that has not been issued yet, but that is the goal and on the roadmap for 2024,
Wow.
probably fourth quarter. So great. I love that question. Thank you,
Excellent.
Lady B.
Yeah, excellent question. All right, Derek, JM Steele.
Yeah, JM Still, I'm asking you to mute yourself. Please unmute yourself. Ask your question, please. JM Still.
Hello, everyone. President, that was an amazing presentation. I know you've heard that, but I had to repeat
Thank
that
you.
again. Okay.
Thank you.
My pleasure. So I'm wondering, when you hear things about like cryptocurrency and those kinds of things, there are some of us who are seasoned, a little more seasoned than others. And so when we hear those words, it's like, okay, I usually need someone to, carefully step me through things because I'm not a 20-year-old. I might look it, but I'm not a 20-year-old.
It's awesome.
So I was just wondering, like, will there be like an educational platform that will help us who, it might take us a little bit longer to kind of catch on to the concept, to make us more
Yes.
comfortable?
Yes. And in fact, inside Connect, there is a blockchain academy that has courses that you can take, and it's like a learn to earn type of deal. And I like I said, Switch is not like connected to Connect, not owned or anything. It's different. So I apologize. I'm going to lack a little information on that, but there is a blockchain academy inside Connect that you can watch videos, and it can teach you everything about blockchain. Like I mentioned, I do have a kind of a cool video that I will drop in the chat here for everyone to watch. If you'd like, it does describe in a way cool, this 2-minute video, what are these nodes that we're talking about and why are they important? And I'll drop that here at the end, and y'all are welcome to watch that. But yeah, there is a blockchain academy within Connect.
Awesome. Okay. And then my other question is, with everything that's going on, cybersecurity and those kinds of things, you know, it's pretty scary with things that are going on when you have like governmental agencies that are being hacked and those kinds of things. What type of security is in place for this platform?
And I absolutely love that question. So there are multiple layers. A key part of cybersecurity, and I'm not a tech guy, but this is what we have. There's about 150 developers and DevOps and SysOps behind what you see with me. There's way more to this platform. If you ever come to Utah, we'll walk you through the whole. It's 40,000 square foot floor that we put over $100 million into. And what they've told me, because they're a lot smarter than me, is the key to cybersecurity is layers. So when I was showing you, hey, I'm going to load my card, but it's not just going to, anytime you move money from one platform. So I was moving money from my digital US dollar wallet to my card. Anytime I take money from here and put it over here, you have to get an SMS code or an email code. That's a layer. If you go to sell your Switch tokens because you're like, oh, it's a great price, I want to sell it, you have to put in your there's a wallet passcode, and then there's an encryption passcode. You've got to put that in there. So there's multiple layers that we've created. It's expensive to do this. That's why a lot of people don't. But like I mentioned at the first, is we want people to feel secure in cryptocurrency as well as with cryptocurrency. I didn't talk about the difference between a custodial wallet and a non-custodial wallet. This goes along with what you're asking. We have 2 wallets within our platform. Remember how I said we're a one-stop shop? The custodial wallet is backed by a bank. And if anything were to happen to Switch, the assets, the digital assets, and the cash that was in those wallets would be frozen. And if we didn't come out of whatever, then that money would be gone. So we encourage people in the digital world to, when they buy Bitcoin or Ethereum on our platform, immediately send it to the non-custodial wallet. Without getting too deep, what that means is you own the key phrase and you actually own your digital assets. So if we went down, you could get your key phrase, go to a place like Trust Wallet or MetaMask, and you can export your digital wallet that has all of your digital assets in it to that platform, and you would not have them frozen. So we have multiple layers, and we're not like the FTX, the Celsius, these other exchanges that lost billions of people's money and digital assets because they only had one wallet, a custodial wallet. We have 2. We've been building that even before these exchanges did what they did and went out. We don't want your digital assets on our balance sheet. That's not our goal, is to strengthen our balance sheets with your assets. We just want to make it easy and increase the adoption of crypto. So great question.
Okay, and then one last point. It's not a question, but I love what Sydney's doing about Black girls on blockchain. If there's a way that we could find out a little bit more information about that, it would be great. But
Yeah.
I'm wondering, is there a way, because, you know, back in the day, guys used to have, you know, like guy groups, and they would do things. I would love to see if there's a way for us to have, like, to broaden the meeting with not just Sydney, but even to have like a girls meeting with Miss Roberts. That would be awesome.
Yvonne, I'm going to tell you to set that up. And
Yes.
Kathy 100% would be here tonight, but like I said, she had a previous obligation. So
Fantastic.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate you.
Great
You bet.
question, CM.
My
Yeah.
pleasure.
Yeah, I feel like the women are trying to isolate us.
You're kind of low, Derek.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, I see. Oh, the Sydney Lloyd that I thought it was. Oh, I'm asking you to meet yourself, Sid.
One
That's your
of
Good
our
deal.
question.
Good
leaders.
deal.
Yeah.
Good deal. Thank you, Mr. Weldon, for coming out. We're just so happy to have you here. And we hope you come back again. And we are definitely looking forward to seeing Kathy also. Um, my question is something you pointed out earlier. We know that FTX and Celsius, these other entities who lost billions of dollars. Can you hear me okay?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
I like
Lost
your
billions
will,
of
by the way, behind you. That's awesome.
Thank you. Thank you. I am sharing it if anybody wants it. Or our team, of course. But those entities that lost a lot of money and did a lot of damage, and the PR is still trying to recuperate. Okay. So the regulatory climate, as you all know, has been an uphill battle. You even mentioned about one of the banks that you were associated with that just told you all, we don't want to do anything else with you all. We know that this is a slow turn. There's also the slow adoption. I admire the fact that Kathy and yourself are leading the way with regards to this. But we know that the big elephant in the room, and a lot of us who are seasoned, understand that FCC component is always a threat. When you speak to how Switch's position to be, insulated from some of those kinds of things, and what makes us insulated, and also, I hope it's not too many questions here, what puts us and sets us apart in space?
Great. I like both of those questions. Let me answer the first one. The first one is you're talking about regulation and how we feel about it, and it is a bit unstable in the U.S. There's no regulation other than the SEC will say, hey, if you follow what that crypto company did, we're going to sue you eventually. If you do it this way, we won't sue you, maybe. So we have what's within, and it's not ours, it's a third party, but within that will you're showing, there's a company called Blockade. Some of the best lawyers in the world are, in my opinion, I'll say in the world, are in that Blockade group. They are the first, as far as we know, blockchain legal entity. And a couple of them came from the SEC, and their background is amazing. So what has been built and what we've been advised to do as far as structure to protect ourselves and insulate ourselves, like you asked, Sid, is we went to multiple countries where there are crypto regulations. We want regulation in the US. We love it. The cool thing about Switch is every one of those companies that you're showing on that wheel behind you, Sid, is Switch will be integrated with them because they got to use our product one way or the other.
Gotcha.
But we also come from banking. So we are highly regulated. So, and Kathy's main one is compliance comes from the top down. So we are following all the regulation that we can on the banking side and that we can on the crypto side. And so to go back to say what I was talking about, we have that Blockade group went to a bunch of different countries, learned the crypto law, and we ended up going and registering in Switzerland because they have 3 types of tokens that they have said, here's what we're going to describe and here's what's required. So they have a payment token, a utility token, and then a stable token or stable coin. And then they have definitions of each one of those. So we were able to get a certification that says the Switch token, keep in mind, this is not Switch reward card. This is going in to answer your question of how the blockchain, you have to start out with the centralization to get it decentralized. That's the goal, is to move to decentralization. So, and part of that is the DGF that I talked about. But we got a and I shouldn't say we, but the Switch blockchain got a certification that says they are a utility token. And so that we feel like has insulated us by being registered within the Swiss laws. And I can't remember your second question. Maybe I answered both of them. I don't know. What was your second question?
I don't know. It was a lot there. It was loaded. I
Yeah.
appreciate it. I think you kind of covered it because the dynamic was the regulatory side. And we know in banking, this is a concern. We know that you've been challenged trying to get US type banks to basically, onboard you all so you all can participate in the big picture. But we do know that there's still barriers that are there, that you all are just pioneering this space. And you're leading with yourself, and of course, Kathy, who has a track record of success. We know it's going to be a very powerful movement. We're here to support you. We're here to make Switch a worldwide organization people feel comfortable being a part of. And I think my daughter's like, she's gun ho about what she's trying to do. And so I believe that over time, the regulatory barriers will come down. We have the Bitcoin ETF that's recently started that trend of adoption. So we'll have to see with the banks, because we know that they see themselves becoming a dinosaur. And I see you all becoming an eagle soaring. So just keep up the fine work. And I think we'll get to the nuts and bolts of how we're going to move forward in the future. Thank you so much, Mr. Willden, for your time and for answering that question.
Well, thank you. You can come and do these presentations because that was very elegant, and I'm super slow and just realized that I assume Sydney's your daughter. So good job on that. It was awesome.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
You got it. You got it. I do have a question for you. Could you share with the audience? And everyone has asked amazing questions. Sid, that was excellent. Share with us, because of course we have some brand new guests. They've never heard this before. This is all new to them. A lot of them always think about blockchain as just, well, before blockchain, they always think about crypto, and they don't really think about the technology behind crypto. Of course, like you've mentioned, crypto is just one variable inside of blockchain. Could you talk a little bit about how blockchain is distributed in other industry as well?
Yeah, great question. And just as a heads up too, I sent, because I can't send it to everybody, I sent that video that describes a little bit more information on what a node is.
Got
I
it.
sent that to you guys in the chat. If you could share that to everyone. But yeah, how's the blockchain getting integrated in other industries? Is that what you're asking?
Yes.
Yeah. What's cool about Web3 is it doesn't have to be a centralized data center. This is just one way. It doesn't have to be a centralized data center. We hear all the time, hey, this data center went down and the company shut down for a minute until they fix it, get it going. That's what is being built with this node infrastructure, and it can be put into any, AI is starting to become huge, where they're going to need a lot of compute and storage power to be able to run this AI. It's just starting, but so nodes, what it does is it allows the Switch blockchain to borrow your compute and storage power. So the more nodes that get on that system, the stronger and the more capacity that supercomputer eventually becomes, and can do computations, can do confirmations. We're going to use them as confirmations to confirm, Sydney used her debit card today, and we're going to bring that off-chain action on-chain, and your node is what confirms that and records that digital receipt. I hate talking this way. I've never been a technical guy, but that's what I've been doing for the last 4 years, and I realized I sound really nerdy right now, so I apologize. But that's what's cool about it. It is the sky's unlimited, and if someone's computer goes down, that's not a whole data center going down. There's still all these other nodes that are being ran on people's computers that still has that compute storage capability. So it's not like when a data center goes down, you're done. You got to wait till it's back up and running. And then there's just so many things that you can do when those nodes are all brought together. And that's what that does, is it connects it all. So yeah, please watch that video, and that will kind of describe, but you can put that into any industry. To answer your question, Dr. Yvonne, is you can use that in any industry. Technology is just getting stronger and stronger. And I love what Sid said as far as, moving and growing forward. Right now, there's only a 5% adoption worldwide of crypto in the Web3. There's a huge potential there.
Wow. Wow. I have another question for you. We have a lot of business owners on the call right now, and they want to know, how do they integrate blockchain within their own businesses right now? Like, what could they do? Think about a small business owner. Maybe they have a beautician store or a grocery store. What could they do? How could they integrate blockchain there?
Yeah, I guess that's a great question. My brother's a dentist and he just has his own little practice. And I said, hey, how can we help you integrate crypto into your business? Like you asked me. And I said, hey, we want you, and this is from a switch perspective. So it's probably more focused and more biased. But I said, hey, what if if people come in and say, I've got a switch token, and you say, oh, if you pay with the switch token, we'll give you a discount of 20%. So anyway, there's fluff, and I always make fun of them. Like dentists work 4 days a week and they make a lot of money. So you can give us a 20% discount to my friends that are going to pay. But that's one way. The other way is just the peer-to-peer user ability, and that's not a switch focus. That's everyone that's in crypto can do that peer-to-peer transfer that's super quick, and you're not going to have to pay. So like they can share. So say you're a business owner and you own a small restaurant, and everyone pays with a credit card. You can start now saying, hey, if you pay with crypto, which is our crypto merchant crypto widget, you can share in the profits rather than getting your merchant statement and having to pay all those fees and have them taken out of your revenue. So there's multiple ways that you can integrate into this. Those are just a couple to help you run your business with crypto. Online, if you have an online business, the sky's the limit. There's a lot of different things that you can do there, and we can help you build those. Like that's one thing that we're surprised. We originally started 4 years ago that we were going to be a consumer driven product. But as we've gone to all these crypto, we go to Dubai and Panama and Consensus in Austin, Texas, and we found that there's a huge need too for businesses, and we've built those 4 products that I showed you. But we're always looking at new ones.
Phenomenal. I have another question for you. Share with the audience the difference between a node owner. We have a lot of folks on this call. We are node owners. We have partnered with the brand versus a user, because we want them to know there's a huge line, right? A huge gap between the node owner and the user. Share that with us.
Yeah, a node owner has the rights to vote. That's the biggest thing. Like, and you have the right to submit a proposal. The node owner is part of the DGF, the Distributed Governance Framework. So they can make a change eventually. And this is a forward-looking statement. NFTs, before NFTs, they were just like cool art, and everyone would pay a ton of money for this cool art. Well, we are dropping NFTs in the future through the nodes that have utility. And so we'll be kind of the first. There might be some NFTs out there that have utility, but we will be dropping utility NFTs to the node owners. A user on the other side is users of the Switch reward card business. And I shouldn't say that. I hope I didn't say we, our lawyers, back to what Sid is saying, there's stuff we can say in Switch, and I say we. I'm not part of the blockchain. I need to say that. So clarify that.
Yeah.
But on the business side, Switch Reward Card, DAO LLC, which is I'm a part of, that's the user side, the user of our products. And I can't remember if it was Jeff at the beginning that said, it's cool to show a demo and say, here's what you can tangibly use.
Yeah.
And so that's a difference. But even as a user, you still can earn Switch rewards as a user of our product. Yep.
But there are tons of benefit for being a node owner.
Yeah, the node owner is like just magnified. I don't even know how to say it, but it's
100 times
bigger. Yeah. You get way more, rewards. You have way more what I don't even know. I can't even think of the word right now. But yeah,
leverage everything. We
benefits.
position ourselves.
Yeah.
And you're the expert here when it comes to Switch. And one of the things I noticed for myself when I first came on board, I was excited about being a pioneer. I was excited about looking at the brands and saying, wow, I can be a part of this. This is like an Airbnb, Microsoft, DoorDash moment where I get to partner with brands before they launch, which is amazing. So we have a hand up, and then that's the last one, and then we're gonna end.
Last hand I see is gonna be no name 812. I'm asking you to mute yourself, no name. Ask your
No
question,
name.
please. No name. Ask your question.
All
Mute
right.
yourself.
He's not
That's
really
better
saying
than
anything.
admin. I need to change my name from admin. I don't know why that's there.
Well, a question I have for you before we move right into the giveaways, and we have some exciting giveaways. Oh my goodness, the president, you literally just, I mean, transformed this call today because of everything that you are giving away. Like, we came up with the criteria. He gave us the flexibility of coming up with the criteria. However, when they answer the questions, there are certain answers that you're going to know. So you're going to be the one to say yeah or nay when it comes to answering some of these questions. So tell our guests, how can they get started today? What can they do to get started?
To get started with the Switch project, I think the best thing, and I know Switch has been a very, and I'm not saying this because I'm the president, but it's been a very popular project.
Yeah.
And nodes go up as the more nodes you sell, the higher the price goes. And so our node price is higher than anybody else's. But I want to mention this. I don't know those of you who I did not participate in the gala nodes. I remember I put 4 nodes because they were about $8,200 into my wallet, and I was going to get 4 of them. I don't know if you don't know Gala, go check out Gala and look at the beginning of 2021 and look at the price of the token, and then look in at Thanksgiving, and you can see how mad I am at myself. I didn't buy those 4. I'm like, I'm just going to go buy the tokens. I didn't do either because it's really hard to buy the tokens before they get on like a centralized exchange.
Yeah.
People aren't selling them. All the node owners are just holding them, so you can't get them. Anyway, I didn't do it. I kicked myself. It went from 0.0003. My $32,000 would have turned into a lot because that token went to 84 cents. I'm
Whoa.
not saying Switch is going to do that, but there is, we hope that it does that. And
Right.
it's not tied to anything. And once again, I can't say certain things because of which I'm
Yeah.
glad, because we don't want to say, hey, yeah, you're going to make millions of dollars. You're guaranteed. We do not do that. And
Right.
so anyway, I kicked myself because I did miss out on millions of dollars. And my wife was like, well, what were you thinking? I'm like, well, I don't know. It's scary. So I wish I would have done that. But to answer your question is, yeah, how could you participate? Number 1, get a node. Number 2, is share. Like I said, the way we are successful is if everyone says, hey, you want to learn about a cool blockchain project and learn a little bit about blockchain, check out Switch, or come to Connect and check out the different projects that are in here that are disrupting, everyday industries. And so you can do that. You can join the Discord for Switch. You can follow us on Twitter. So those are just some easy ways. And then if you want to baby step it in, you can go, sign up for the wait list on our card, and or sign up for the exchange right now, and maybe buy your first crypto, buy $10 of Bitcoin, see what happens.
Yeah.
Yeah, there we go.
We already know that we have about over 100 or maybe 100 in closed beta right now. So we do have individuals who are utilizing the card because they're in closed beta. It was a period of time. A lot of us, we weren't here, but I get the opportunity to pioneer with Switch and about 14 other projects that they have, brands, and they're exciting brands, but we're here for Switch today, and I'm excited about the giveaways today.
Let's
It's
do those. I'm excited
insane.
too.
Listen, you missed out on Gala, but they're getting started today
Yep.
with something you missed out on 7 years ago. But of course, you're the president now. You're positioned pretty well. And so we want to get started the first. And of course, President Brad, we want you to work with us with this because there are certain questions that you're going to make sure that the guests or the members as well, everyone gets to participate. And I will tell you if this is a guest question or a member question, because we know members, you all are quick with it, but we want our guests to walk away with being we're having some Switch giveaways. All right.
I
So
got to
the
do this for Andy real quick. Sorry to interrupt you, Yvonne. There we
That's
go,
okay.
Andy. There's my card. You can see it's worn around the edges. I've used it a lot, but you were mad that everyone was sharing. I'm going to do it just to rub it in a little bit.
Yeah.